Hi y'all, it's Bonnie. Welcome to the Bonnie Life, where life happens and where so many other things happen that aren't so great. First of all, I'd like to start this video out by issuing a prayer request for our friend Bob from Glam Kitty Jewelry. Used to be Crafty Cat Designs. He's in the hospital. Bob has had a stroke. I don't have a lot of details. I believe it was a mini stroke. He's emotional and confused. I haven't talked to him. I've talked to his family members, and I'm very concerned about him. So please join me in a prayer for him. He is in my thoughts. So Bob, if you're watching this, I love you. I'm thinking of you. I am praying for you. And just know that you can get through this. I have faith in God. I have faith in you that you can get through this. So, yeah, that news hit me at a time when I'm probably not really well equipped for any bad news. I've had a rough go of it, y'all. If you've noticed, I haven't been around. I was very sick, and I'm still not 100%. I don't know if I had a cold or allergies that turned into bronchitis, which I've never had. In fact, I had last month saw a pulmonologist, had a pulmonary function test. Everything was good. Now I'm on an inhaler within a month, and I'm struggling. I'm just, if you've known, I've been short of breath a lot lately, and it's gotten to the point where I just feel like a hypochondriac. I don't even want to go to the doctor because they end up ordering so many tests, and I'm just at risk for so much having chronic EBV that I have to go through a litany of tests and blood work and with the slightest complaint. So I tried to avoid the doctor. I really tried, but I was so sick that I was afraid I had pneumonia, and it could still develop into pneumonia. But my voice, if you heard when Dennis did the video last Friday, I could hardly talk. My voice was just really shot, and that was, I don't know how long it had been that I had gotten sick. Oh, almost a week, because I'd gotten sick the Saturday before that. So it had been 6 days in, and I was still that bad, and I'm still not quite all the way over it. And I'm just supposed to be on the lookout for signs of pneumonia, but the inhaler is really helping a lot. I've never known how much they help. So, y'all, it's been rough. I don't know where to start. So let me start because I did get some mail. Thank you to those of you who sent mail. I got mail from Melody in Cleveland, Ohio, which that's, I'm grateful for that. From Nicole in Boston. And if I'm short of breath, y'all, I'm sorry. From Mickey in Syracuse, New York. So let's open these up. Okay, so this one says, please read to yourself before you decide if you want to share it online. I'm okay with whatever you decide, Mickey. Okay. Oh, that's a tough one, Mickey. I don't know what to do. I probably won't share it since there's a question, so I'll read it to myself and then I'll get right back to you. I'm going to go ahead and read this because I think it's important, and I think that other people can relate to this. And Mickey, I'm going to read it because I want people to have the opportunity to pray for you. So I hope that that's okay. It's a beautiful card with a kitty cat on it, and inside the card she begins writing a letter that carries over. So this is dated October 6th, so that's how delayed I am. I'm so sorry. It says, Dear Bonnie, I just watched your 2-part video of questions, you and Dennis answering questions so honestly. It hit home when someone asked Dennis how he deals with your illness. I have an ongoing illness, several actually. I have degenerative disc disease in my entire back. Okay, I totally understand that because I have that as well. It's terrible. Do you get epidural shots, by the way? I do. They're very helpful to me. I know they can be scary. That's the only thing so far that works for me, but it's very hard. When you have, I have degenerative disc and degenerative joint disease, and the amount of weight I've put on has made it terrible to try to get up and move around, and just walk. Degenerative disc disease in my entire back also makes walking hard. A failed bunion surgery. Bunion surgery did not correct problem but made it worse. I'm so sorry. And asthma. Okay, I can feel for you with asthma, although I don't really know what that feels like, but this bronchitis has been the closest I've ever felt to that. I also have lymphedema in my legs, and my diaphragm is paralyzed on one side, making breathing hard at times. Oh, that has to be scary. Despite it all, my wonderful husband picks up the slack and always helps with housework. We are both in our 60s and retired. Praise God for that. And we had many conversations about this. Although we have known each other for 37 years, we have only been married 21 years. He has 3 grown children. I have 2 grown children. And a 3rd child, a son, that died of a drug overdose almost 7 years ago at age 31. I am so very sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Eric is my knight in shining armor. I could not handle life without his help. I have thought about what Eric would say if he were asked how he deals with my illnesses, and I know he would answer the same way Dennis did. My heart hurt for you when you started to cry. I cried with you. You'll make me cry again. Dennis and Eric are 2 of a kind. Many husbands would just leave. Thank you for your channel. I've been listening since you had fewer than 500 subscribers. Thank you for being so faithful and watching and being engaging with us here. I haven't commented in a while online to you, but decided I just had to write this letter because the video touched my heart so deeply. To Dennis, and I'll make sure he gets this message. You have a great wife, and I pray for strength for both of you. As my husband says, if it weren't for all my doctor's appointments, we would have no social life at all. Love to you both, Mickey. Thank you, Mickey. It's good to know that there's someone who understands you. And see, I don't normally get that because there aren't channels like mine out there that I can relate to. So when I get feedback from people like you, Mickey, and other people, which I get in my inbox a lot, it is so helpful to know that somebody gets it, you know, that somebody understands what you're going through, because you can feel so lost and alone when you're dealing with chronic illness, and then if you have mental illness on top of it, it can be just so isolating and so lonely, and it's so good to know you're not alone. Although my heart breaks for you and all you've been through and what you go through, I'm grateful that you reached out, and that I know that I have someone who's going to understand and really get it if I needed to. And I'll always be here for you. Feel free to text, email me, or send me an Instagram message. And that goes to all of you. Instagram has a part where you can send a voice message, and I always will answer back with another voice message, so we can kind of have a chat that way. That helps me get over my phobia of talking to somebody on the phone. Oh my gosh, I am so late. This was for Halloween. I love Charlie Brown. Have a fantastic Halloween. How sweet is that? Okay, tricks and treats. How many people actually like this candy? I like any candy. Tricks and treats and a night of sweets. Happy Halloween. Love, Nicole and Noelle. And look at those pretty stickers. Thank you. I hope you had a great Halloween. I bought a 5-pound bag of candy and didn't have a single trick-or-treater. So guess who ate all the candy? And then I'm like, why am I gaining so much weight at the doctor? Could be that 5-pound bag of candy. It's not helping. Okay, this is from Melody. Me and Melody have been chatting. Yeah, I think, Melody, we talk on Instagram, right? Using that voice feature that I was just talking about. I know we talk. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. Let your heart be free. Thank you. To the Bonnie Life from Melody. That'll go on my wall Whew, I am almost out of room, y'all. I'm going to start having to overlap. Life is a beautiful ride. This is so fitting. Thank you, Melody. This is so fitting with what this video is about today. Which, I don't know how far I am into this. I should make this a two-part session, because a three-parter or a four-parter, because it's just so long. So all of this life is beautiful, and the title of this video is Life, Death, and Everything in Between, Prayers for Bob. And so it's no surprise to anybody that I've had a lot of losses. I have lost a lot of people I love, and it seems to be never ending. So last month Dennis and I lost a niece, and it shook us to our core, because she was young, and it was very unexpected, and she was destined for big things, and it was just such a shock. And so we had a family here. This was before I got sick. We had family that came from all over. I had family from Turkey. And I want to give a shout out. Oh, yes. Remember my hippie boots that I got? I traded them for a dress from Turkey. It's so beautiful. So yeah, one of my family members from Turkey came for the funeral, and she wore this dress, and I loved this dress so much that I traded her. I wish I could show y'all. I can't though, but this whole design goes all the way down. I just love it. It's so pretty. So I traded her the boots for the dress. So I got a dress from Turkey. And another family member I was able to FaceTime with. And I have to be grateful, because I got some inspiration there that was not expected at that time. I was going through a dark place. Not solely because of my niece passing, but because I had stopped everything just to a screeching halt. I quit socializing. I quit doing anything. And so I was FaceTiming with this family member, and was told that they also suffer from panic and agoraphobia, but they force themselves to socialize, and I can't stop socializing. That was the big thing. The panic attacks still come, but the agoraphobia has eased up. And I'm sorry. And it got me to thinking that I have cut everybody out. I have totally isolated myself from my friends, from everything. So I've mentioned a long time ago that I had something wrong with a tonsil, something in my throat. I lost the ability to sing. I lost range mostly, and a lot of the control that I used to have. And so it doesn't matter though. How many times have I said, if you have a voice, sing if you feel like singing, because something that my dad always said was, if all the birds in the forest stopped singing, it would just be utter silence. Not every bird sings pretty. Some of them go caw-caw, but it's a beautiful sound. And so I have decided to slowly step out and slowly begin to socialize again, and slowly start getting myself out. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be going and hanging out at clubs and doing stuff like that. But what I want to start doing is having friends over, my musician friends, and have front porch sing-alongs. You know, bring their guitars and let's sit around and sing. And I want to record those and do some bluegrass stuff, which is what I really, really love to do. Some bluegrass gospel, and just have a good time. And start inviting people back into my life and stop pushing them away. So that's one thing I want to do. And the second thing I want to do is, gosh, I don't know how much I can go into all of this, y'all. So let me tell you about another loss we had. So just last week, I get a call from my mom that she's headed off to Texas because her brother, my uncle, is doing really bad all of a sudden. He just tanked. His health tanked. And so my sister was going to drive her out that morning, the next early morning, to Texas. And we got notified that he passed at 4:30 in the morning. We were not expecting that. Again, not as young as my niece, but still young and vibrant. And what happened to him happened so suddenly. His decline was so fast. There was no time. Like, my mom didn't even have time to get there. So what these things have taught me, all of these losses, you know, at first it taught me isolate, isolate, isolate. Stay away from people. Don't engage with people. Don't get close to people, because if you get close to people, you can get hurt. That's the message that it taught me. Well, that's not the right message to take away. And that's what was brought to me by talking to this family member in Turkey. And if you're watching, thank you. Thank you so much. It was great talking with you and getting that perspective and seeing how much you've overcome, because I need to overcome those things too. So here's my plan on that end. It's gathering friends here, and it's for me to stop isolating in the house. And I have to get outside. And it's not just because of socialization, but I went and had a cardiac scan. And y'all, this is all over the place. Hello, hello. So I had a cardiac scan, stress test, where I had to get on the treadmill. And I'm telling y'all, because I used to be athletic just a couple of years ago, okay? So I'm like, I'm just short of breath. So I go in and I'm doing my... You know, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get on this treadmill and stretching, doing some hamstring stretches, and I get up on there, and I'm ready, because, you know, this girl knows the treadmill. Lord, y'all. Okay, so my sitting rates, if you know anything about heart rates and everything, my blood pressure before I started, just chilling in the chair waiting for him to get everything set up, get electrodes on me, and got set up, took my vitals. My pulse was 68. Wonderful. My blood pressure was 90/70. I was good to go. And my doctor had signed a form, because I have what I used to have, orthostatic postural hypotension and tachycardia, known as POTS is what sometimes it's called. So standing up, my heart rate would go up, but my blood pressure would go down, and I'd faint a lot. Well, I haven't been fainting recently, and I just thought it was just because I'm not up as much. So I was sent there by my doctor to see if I should stay on this medication I'm on that regulates my heartbeat and my blood pressure. So he says she prescribed a vasodilator to make my heart, stress my heart out with medicine. So I got an IV on. And if I can't get to my peak heart rate, which was 145 beats per minute on the treadmill in 15 minutes, then they could inject that. I didn't want that. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So he tells me every 3 minutes we're going to increase the speed and move it up to an incline. I'm like, cool, okay. I'm ready for this. It's been a while. I'm excited. You know, I haven't gotten to move this body in a while. And I can see the machinery right there right in front. I was seeing everything, my blood pressure. And so I'm on the machine. I don't even get to the first 3 minutes before he raises it up. My pulse is at 186. And my blood pressure is like 200/110. And he raises it up, and I try to go that 3 minutes. I make it not even 2 minutes in. My blood pressure is 238/136, I believe. And my pulse is going over 200. And he had to stop. And he sits me down, and he doesn't believe what he's seeing. He's like, no, because this is crisis. It's a critical blood pressure. It's way too high. If you ever have a blood pressure that high, you probably need to be in the ER. So he said, any I've had in the past, I had a cardiologist present with me, but this time I didn't. And he took it, and it was still high, and he said, I'm going to take it one more time, and if it hasn't come down, I have to call your doctor. I got to call the cardiologist in here. So thankfully I was at the hospital, so I could have gotten taken to the ER. And he put it on, and they got it down to 186, my blood pressure down to 186/100. And to him, that was no longer critical. At least it was moving in a downward direction. That was after the third attempt. It was staying that high even after I was off the treadmill and resting. And my heart was just da 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 da. It stayed 150, just resting. So I had abstained from my medication for a day. So guess what? I can't do cardio exercise. I am going to give it a shot, taking my blood pressure medication and my heart rate medication, and see if I can. I'll have my daughter-in-law here, who's an RN, and I will try to do a very easy like that workout and see medicated how it works for me at home. But without being able to exercise, I'm at a loss, because a lot of the problems I'm having are because of the weight gain. 70 pounds now, y'all. 70 pounds in 2 years. 70. That's crazy. That is a crazy amount of weight. And I have a try-on haul coming up. 2 of them, actually. So you'll see, if you go back to my early videos and see how thin I was, and then just how I have ballooned out. It's just crazy. So I have decided that instead of doing cardio, I want to get outside, because my doctor said you burn more calories and you get more fit with the cold air. It does something to the metabolism. You do better in the fall and winter than you do in the summer, which I don't understand, but that's what he said. And I've always done better just trying to do daily tasks that I love. And if you'll remember, when Dennis and I had that discussion here on my channel, I had said that I didn't have a good childhood. There are things in my childhood that I enjoyed, and when asked, it was like being with my horse, being out at the ditch and playing with critters. Okay, so I'm going to try to start being a totally different person on that front. I have decided that I want to start camping in the woods solo. So I want to overcome my anxieties through a method I've tried a million times and didn't work, but I didn't try it by doing something I love. I put myself in super stressful situations. Camping, I grew up when my dad lived in the mountains. We were bushcrafters, hardcore. I know all these skills. I think that that would be something good I can pass on to my grandsons and my granddaughter on my channel. Just opening things just doesn't have, what do I want them to say when I'm gone? You know, when they're looking back at videos of me, my grandma opened stuff. No, I want them to go, my grandma taught me how to cook this. My grandma taught me how to do this outside and how to start a fire in the snow. All of these skills are being wasted. And it's exercise. You know, I'll be pulling a sled through the snow. I'll be setting up camp and trying to remember how to stay warm. I don't know how well this is going to go for me. I have to get well first, though, and that's my priority. But I want to take y'all with me and see if I can do it. Because this isn't what I want to do anymore. And besides, I may not be able to do it anymore. Oh, don't get me started on everything that's going on with the FTC and the possibility of YouTubers getting charged $42,500 for each video that violates the FTC rules. I don't even make money on this channel, so risking getting fined without a clear, I don't have a clear indicator of what's child friendly. So unless I just flat out start cussing and carrying on like somebody I'm not, that's the only way they would know that it's not intended for children. If I dared to show something that would be appealing to children, I risk getting this huge fine. And I risk just expulsion from the channel if they don't find me commercially viable. Well, I'm not commercially viable because I won't let them put ads on. So who knows if I'll be here or not. But if I am here, I'm going to take y'all with me, and I hope you enjoy those videos. Sit with me by the campfire. Sing along with me, doing some bluegrass gospel. Listen to the critters in the woods. Watch me get scared, because I can get scared in the dark by myself in the woods. And I'm going to start out close to home and venture further and further if I can. But it's worth a shot, and I want to give it a go. So Dennis is helping me prepare for that. We're getting my gear prepared, and I may go totally primitive. I may drag an extension cord to my deck and camp out there for the first time. Who knows? So it's all up in the air, but I just wanted to let you guys know all of that's going on in my life. So please say a prayer for Mickey and her husband, and for Melody. say a prayer for Nicole, and please say a prayer for Bob. And if you have time, say a prayer for me, please. I am, this is a life journey I'm on, and I want to take you along for as long as I can. Okay, take care, you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here through all of this. I love you. God bless you. You're all in my prayers. Mwah. Bye.